Why has the idea of an apocalyptic war become so popular in gaming, movies, books, and even television shows? Many of these forms of media feed off of the idea of zombie apocalypses, alien invasions, and even natural disasters, ultimately leading to the survival of the fittest. When it comes to gaming, the narrative of the game is what makes it stand out and it draws the potential player in like an attention grabber of an essay would. The plot is the basis that helps build other elements to help contribute to the fun of the game. Did you know that some video games like Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl are based on books? The balance of realism and entertainment, aside from creativity, is what is important when deciding if a game narrative would be a good one. The storyline is what creates the background of the characters and gives when and where a story will begin and end. There needs to be a constant challenge and a reward. The graphics definitely have some importance in whether a game will become popular, but it is possible to lack good graphics and still become widely known. A good narrative makes any kind of game memorable, whether it is a game that you play outside with your friends, on a board game, or alone on your phone. The plot of the game is enough to bring flexibility and strategy to the game. It gives you a role to play, a reason to play that role, and different ways to play your role. Depending on the game, your role is not always something you can choose, but how you play your part determines how the narrative will develop. As the story progresses, the player will endure changes that can be within the character or even the story itself based on how they play the game. These changes, whether constant or eventual, can change how they perceive and play the game, which ultimately will keep them interested in seeing how the game will end. The storyline opens up many opportunities and even limits on the gameplay. The atmosphere, based on the plot, can possess realistic or fantastical graphics, which gives the player motivation to try the game. The ending of the story can provide hints of a sequel, thus creating a game series and building a fan base. Without a storyline, the game would be missing the challenge and rewards that keeps the gamer engaged. When you watch trailers for upcoming video game releases, you get a preview of the story and the characters that will be essential to it. With this glimpse of the game, you would decide if you would like to play it. Games that have an apocalyptic background create an even middle ground between luck and actual strategy. The force of luck, also prominent in real life, causes good or not so good things to happen that the player cannot control. A player's strategy helps them make it through the game with their own decisions and reasoning. T vs. Z, where the Z stands for zombies, is a multiplayer game that is played online, mainly through Twitter. With the narrative of the game being a zombie apocalypse, the objective is to either stay human as long as possible or infect as many humans as you can, based on which role you are assigned to in the game. When you play this game, you would play and respond as if the crisis was actually happening. The game progresses through tweets between the players of written reactions and media shared from other sites. Although it is not a video game and lacks graphics of gameplay, the plot and players are enough to make this game fun and engaging. Even without physically seeing a zombie trying to bite you, you would automatically think to dodge, run, or find a way to kill it. Since T vs. Z involves Twitter and hashtags, the players help the narrative evolve through their actions in response to the challenge being the increasing number of zombies trying to bite you. The challenge for the humans is avoiding tweets that would change their role to a zombie by responding with hashtag #die. They could save other human players by replying using hashtag #swipe to appropriate tweets. The zombies use a hashtag #bite to spread the virus. The challenge and role of each type of player puts them up against each other. The reward for humans dodging bites is surviving, which makes them victorious at the end. When a zombie bites a human, and he or she does not get help, they move to the zombie's team to attack non-zombie players, which broaden the difficulty of the game, thus maintaining a constant challenge. T vs. Z has a simple narrative, but what makes this game unique is the fact that the players can change the way things unfold in the game. While players participate in the game, they can make contributions about the game rules that can change the plot. They can add roles or new ways of gameplay that bring in the use of digital media. Since players use tweets and other forms of social media, their tweets help build a broader story than there just being humans versus zombies. Being a multiplayer game that is played around the world, there are many possible changes to suggest so the story can go anywhere from the basic synopsis. What kinds of games do not have a story? Games like Madden and 2K do not possess a storyline to follow when playing. The only objective in a sports game is to play the specific sport and win, but it does not need an interesting story to get gamers' attention. The only aspect of sports games that can keep the players playing the game is the fact that there are many potential opponents as well as an infinite win-to-loss ratio. Many games that do not have a background story tend to be multiplayer. For example, chess, checkers, and spades. What these types of games have in common is that they create means where the player will strive to defeat their opponent while enjoying the battle. The player will want more competition, which will cause them to play more. Winning is the main reward, so it can lack a plot and still give the players reason to continue playing. Although these games can keep a person coming back for more, they are not exactly as exciting as games that have a story. A story, whether short or long, can leave you sitting on the edge of your seat, so a game with a story should be enough to make you hop out of your seat to play it.